Oh, hello, I just wanted to talk about my PLN and how important it is to me. And it's grown hugely in importance over the last year, particularly since I started on Twitter on the 1st of January 2009. And this has enabled me to virtually meet a whole range of different people from all around the world who are, many of whom are interested in the same sorts of things that I'm interested in, which is e-learning, educational technology, web design and development and IT management, broadly speaking. But what's really good about it, I think, is that many of them come from a different perspective. So many of the people that I follow, and it's about 1,100 now, are, for example, librarians or e-learning advisors, or one of the people I follow is an award-winning e-learning designer. And some really well-known web developers and software developers with a focus on educational technology. So that gives you a whole range of input into some of the ideas or thoughts that I might be having. And they also, of course, post the most fabulous, for me, interesting links and pointers to resources. And I've found that when I've had questions or concerns or I need some information, I've been able to ask and really receive very quick and helpful and positive feedback. So really, really important. So Twitter is the mainstay of my personal learning network. I don't just use it to follow the people that are these 1,100 though, because I use TweetDeck, and as you know, TweetDeck has various columns that you can set up, and so this one is all of the 1,100 people, and these are the conversations that I might be having. But this column here searches the public Twitter feed, and so it's currently set up to pull out of the public Twitter stream all tweets with things like PLE, VLE, LMS, Moodle, Blackboard, EdTech, e-learning, etc. So it's my catch-all for posts that may have something that's interesting to me, and more often than not, they often do. And a lot of these people I don't follow already, and so it's really good to find new people to follow, and some of the links that they post in there are fabulous as well. And it really extends your personal learning network to the whole of Twitter, and in a way, having a column like that. There are some other ways that I use TweetDeck in what I think is a productive way, but I'll talk about those perhaps another time, because I'm just talking about the network now. I have a couple of other networks. Probably the second most important one for me is, and these overlap a lot because a lot of the people that I follow here I also follow in on Twitter. So these are my bookmarks in Delicious, the social bookmarking site, and I've got a really productive and fabulous, much smaller network in here. Some of them are common to Twitter, and some aren't, I think. But some of the posts that get posted here are amazing. And actually, there's one that's just come up there, Claire Brooks. Now, this is an interesting case of a personal learning network. Claire, I've never met her in person. In fact, I've met hardly any of my Twitter or Delicious network people in person. But Claire just works a few kilometres from me at La Trobe, where I used to work, and she's in the library there. And I think it's quite interesting that we share these resources online now, never having met in person, but only living actually, not far away, and having worked at the same institution until recently. So it's quite an interesting aspect of a PLN. I also use LinkedIn increasingly for its groups functionality, and these are some of the groups that I'm signed up to in LinkedIn, and increasingly I'm engaging in the conversation that's happening in those discussion fora, and I think that's really important in engaging with your personal learning network, and to provide some feedback and some comment, as well as to be able to ask questions as well. And the last one that I'll mention at the moment, and there are a few others as well that I use, but FriendFeed is becoming increasingly important to me, because this allows me to combine lots of resources together. So for example, here I'm getting feeds from all over the place, from Twitter, from things that I post in Delicious or stumble upon, or indeed Flickr, on RSS feeds as well. And it's nice that you can create these groups very quickly and easily. Now, over the last few months, I've not done very much with FriendFeed, but it's just sort of grown organically, so that actually quite a lot of people are subscribing to this feed. So hopefully I'm doing something interesting and something right, and I'm subscribing back to about 48 of them at the moment, but I think that will grow once I start to really get into that group and find out who's doing what in there. So I think FriendFeed is really useful as a secondary service. I know some people like Robert Scoble would actually say it's more important and better than Twitter, but it's certainly very important for me. I think that's about it. I won't go on any longer. My personal learning network is very important to me. I'll just finish up with saying that. I've learned a huge amount. I like to think I've been able to contribute back with some of the things that I found as well, and that some people find my things that I post and share useful. And that's about it. Okay, thanks.